I myself was actually studying Warren Buffett's portfolio in the late 90s, and what I came across was that he was actually sitting liquid with hundreds of millions of dollars. And we're talking cash, because he was playing the long game. He knew boom and bust cycles, and he knew what was going to end up happening. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually sitting liquid myself, apart from my dollar cost averaging into the markets that I already do. What I'm going to do is... Welcome back to the Lewis Visuals YouTube channel, where my goal is to make you the best version of yourself, and the way that I do that is by telling you exactly what I'm doing to become the best version of myself. Make sure you follow me on all my social medias. It should be up here. Make sure you also follow me on Instagram. That is the social media that I am most frequently on. So if you want to follow along with my life, follow me on the gram. If I sound a little bit off in this video, it's because I am congested. I caught something this weekend. It's actually already going away. I only had it for about 2 days, but that's the reason why I sound like this in this video. If you're a cinematographer or a content creator and you want to get a free LUT in exchange for your email, it is down in the description. If you want to get a full pack of my personal LUTs, the link is also down there. Mind you, these are for the A7S III, S-Log 3. So if you have those, check it out. I use it in this video and I use it in a bunch of my edits as well. Leave some feedback if you do. Send me a video on my Instagram or tag me in something so that I can repost it. Make sure you go and check out my last edit. It is on my Instagram as well. Links in the description, and like I said, it's already up here. It popped up in the little banner that I made. Make sure you check out my last video. Popped up on this side. It's a video talking about... Actually, I'm not even going to tell you what the video is actually about. Go and check it out and you'll see for yourself. But by the thumbnail, I think you could tell. Thank you for 270 subscribers. Our army is getting stronger and stronger. It's just the fact that we were at 250 the last time that I posted a video, and we're already at 270 goes to show that I'm providing a lot of value to you guys, and that there is actually a community and an audience for this type of content. So that is just going to push me to keep going the way I'm going right now. I'm staying on top of one clip on every social media that I have a day, and it's going to stay like that for as long as I can keep it going. If I miss it, I'll definitely have a reason, and it has to be a very good reason too. So far, I've kept it up for a couple months, and I'm not missing. I'm going to keep it going. Now that this introduction is all completed and I've said everything I have to say in every one of my videos, let's get into the video. Let's fucking go. The first thing that I want to talk about in this video is the fact that you can't change somebody, no matter how hard you actually try. It does not matter how much effort you put towards and how bad you want somebody else to change. Just because you're changing doesn't mean that they want to change or that they're even ready to change. So that's something that I'm going to talk about because it's something that I guess I've experienced in the past few months. I am on the journey of becoming the best version of myself, and I believe that it's actually very natural as a human being to try to push those around you to do the same. But something that I've come to comprehend through massive rejection, I guess you can say, if that's even the correct way of saying it, over the past few months, not even, maybe over the past few years since I actually started my self-development journey, I've seen so much progress within myself that I try to push that onto other people, and that's something that I've become very self-aware of recently because that's just the type of person I am. If I'm doing well, I want those around me to do well themselves. I've caught myself going out of my way to help people or try to help people or push them in the right direction, I guess is the right way to really say that, but you can't do that. Doesn't matter if it's just a friendship, a romantic relationship, colleague relationship, doesn't matter. No matter what type of relationship it is, if people are not ready to reach a certain point, you giving them an extra push is not going to help them unless they actually want to. If they want to, then you give them that extra push. It's going to fuel them to go even further than they actually intended. But for somebody who doesn't care and somebody who does not want your advice, it doesn't matter. Even if you have good intentions behind it, they don't care. I guess the examples that I'll give is, since I understand economics very well and I understand the financial system in the United States, I try to help educate those that are around me. And the way that I do that is by sending over random links to articles, sending videos, podcasts, books, stuff like that. And I expect them to actually do what I would do, which is be curious and actually open up the content that I send over and reviewing it for themselves. Not just take my word for it, but actually try to understand it themselves. And then I go back and try to, I guess you could say, quiz them on what I sent over, or even ask them if they even revised what I sent over, and come to find out they didn't even open the link, or they lie to my face and act like they actually opened the content that I sent over. But when I ask them questions, they can't recite anything that they saw in the articles or the videos or the books, whatever it was. Even TikToks. I'll send over TikToks. I understand that it's a common trend to send ridiculous TikToks or reels to people or funny stuff, and I do it myself, but there's always a time and a place, and I try to keep it as minimal as possible. But as somebody who understands algorithms and how social media works, I understand that you can curate your social media. And my social media, for example, when I first downloaded TikTok, was ridiculous. It was just a bunch of girls who didn't know shit, shaking ass, a bunch of ridiculous stuff that I didn't care about. And slowly I started finding content that I actually cared about. So whenever stuff about stocks, whenever stuff about self-development, whenever stuff about real estate, anything that I could use to become a better version of myself would pop up, I would like it or intentionally stay on the video for a long time so that the algorithm promotes videos like that or recommends videos like that. But back to what I was saying, I use my social social media as a way to get the information that I actually need instead of just mindlessly scrolling the whole day. So when I send over a TikTok to somebody, they might think that it's something funny or something that could be relatable, I guess. In reality, when I send over a TikTok, most of the time, I'll say 90% of the time, it's actually something that is useful information. But that's just a social media example. In terms of actually not being able to change somebody, people have their own agendas. And if you're focused on their agenda or trying to help them reach their potential, you're not actually focused on your own. They have certain habits and behaviors that are already imprinted in their subconscious that they can't get rid of unless they actually put in the effort. So you trying to change it in one instant is not going to work. Or keep pushing them to try to move them towards the right directions isn't going to work unless they remove that roadblock themselves and actually want to do it themselves. So what I've done and what you should do is just focus on yourself. If somebody seeks you for advice, if somebody comes to you for guidance, give them the guidance that you believe is right, and then just let it go completely. Forget about it. You did your part. You gave them the advice that they needed and that you believe was right in the moment. And if they are actually committed to change, then they will themselves put the effort in and take the steps forward to reach that high potential or to reach that outcome that they came to you for guidance for. And what I've come to understand as well is that nobody likes to be told what to do. I have that issue myself. I hate being told what to do. In certain instances, I'm not going to act like I'm hard-headed or something and I don't listen. I actually love to listen, especially when I'm being taught something. I have the mind of a student. I sit here and I try to comprehend things and just try and learn because I do not want to stomp my learning curve at all. And the best way to combat that would be just lead by example. If somebody came to you for guidance on finances, show them that you have a good life. I'm not saying, pick up your phone and show them your bank account or your portfolio, your investments, stuff like that. But they can see the way of life that you're living. You can tell when somebody's a lie, when somebody's actually not who they say they are, because we all have the ability to use discernment. So yeah, that's all I'm going to do from now on. I'm going to go on and live my life, focus on myself. Obviously, it is in our nature, especially with the people that we love, to try to guide them in the right direction, but everybody's consciousness is at a different level. And just because you understand something in a deeper surface doesn't mean that the person that you're trying to portray this information to is going to understand it to that same level or to that same extent. So I'm going to just sit back and let my accomplishments show that I understand what I'm talking about. There's no point of giving you advice if you're just going to look for the next person or not even take that advice. You just wasted both our times here. It is something that is completely out of my control and out of your control as well. So if you are, for example, if you have a sibling that you want to help, if you have a friend that you want to help, if you have a family member that you want to help, guide them in the right direction, they're just not getting the hang of it, I guess. Just understand that whatever their actions are and what they do is out of your control. So when you get mad or angry about somebody who could have a better outcome because they didn't listen to your advice, understand that that is their fault, completely out of your control, and just move on, stay focused on yourself, and become the best version of yourself. The next one is actually going to be very difficult for me to talk about, but let's get into it. I'm starting to hate the gym, starting to become very repetitive. Before, I would actually look forward to going to the gym, whether it was pull, push, or legs. Let me get through my day as quickly as possible so I could go to the gym and enjoy my workout. Recently, it has not been like that. It's becoming more taunting every day, and I'm starting to figure out it might be just because of my routine. So I guess I would just have to shift my workout routine as much as I can, and I've been doing that the past few days, so it's been working. But that goes down to actually building the habit. No matter how I feel about going to the gym, whether it's a back day and I have to do pull-ups or it's cardio day and I have to run, you're still gonna find me in that gym. Don't get me wrong in any way. I'm not saying just because I hate going to the gym that I'm gonna stop going to the gym. I'm gonna be in that gym no matter what, because I understand there's a bigger purpose of me going to the gym. There's more mental clarity. I'm getting physically and mentally stronger. I'm building a good habit overall so I could carry it on to other aspects of my life. And most importantly is building that discipline, that no matter what I have to do or how I feel that day, I'm still gonna do what is best for me. Because at the end of the day, I understand that nobody's coming to save me, and I have to be competent in all areas of my life. So if that means putting myself in difficult situations and in situations that I do not enjoy, like going to the gym, squatting, doing abs, and then running 6 miles of cardio, then I guess that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hate it the whole time, but that shit's gonna get done. And that's just the character that I'm trying to build. When you start building the correct habits, you start curating the life that you actually want. For example, it doesn't just have to be in the gym. I've started to build a habit of reading a certain amount of pages every night in order to build the habit of just reading. That is the next habit that I'm developing, making sure that I'm reading every night. I've developed the habit of making my content every night so that I have something to post the next day, and that is going to develop the life that I desire, because I understand that's the input that I have to provide to the universe in order to get the output that I desire. So if you understand that you have to do something that you hate but is going to make you the best version of yourself, create a habit around it so you become the person who does most things that are undesirable to the regular person, because we're not trying to be regular over here. Fuck out of here with that regular shit. Hey, if you made it to this far in the video, make sure you like if you haven't already, and leave a comment and leave any questions that you desire me to give my opinion on and my output on. The next point, this is something that I guess I used to do when I was younger, and I've actually shifted my mindset to what I'm about to say here, but it's also something that I understand a lot of people deal with themselves, and that is the fact that a lot of people focus on the problem instead of actually focusing on the solution, or to what I would say is looking into the future. An example of that is you're broke. Instead of focusing on the person that you have to become in order to change that situation, you're focused on the fact that you're broke. But when I was broke, I was not focused on the fact that I was broke. I was so focused on creating the man that I wanted to become, and I'm still doing that. Don't get me wrong. I am nowhere near my potential. That the fact that I was broke didn't even cross my mind. I gave no brain power to the issue at hand, which was that I was broke, and all I did was focus on acquiring the skills that I needed in order to get out of that situation. And we do that a lot with many problems in our lives. Instead of focusing on becoming the future version of yourself, you're focused on the current one. And yeah, you have to live in the moment, but you also have to plan ahead. I guess for me, I was just so infatuated, and I still am so infatuated with the man that I am becoming, that I don't care or didn't care about the fact that I had no money in the bank or that I had no savings at all. But now looking back on my financials, I'm not the richest person in the world, but I'm definitely doing better than I was at that situation that I'm talking about a couple years ago. And where that came from was actually becoming the man that I needed to become. And I'm still, like I said, in the process of doing that. But I've gained the confidence through actions that I actually needed, because I didn't think that this was possible. If you asked me if what I'm doing right now was possible, or the assets that I have acquired was something that I was gonna have, I would have thought you were playing around with me. Just the mindset shift that I've had, and it sounds very tacky and very cliche to talk about mindset, but your mindset is the most important part, because it is the most basic. And if you want to become good at something, you have to understand the fundamentals, because we try to skip the fundamentals and get to the meat and potatoes when the fundamentals are the meat and potatoes. For example, you want to get good at basketball, so you start practicing your crossovers and doing all these fancy moves, but you forgot about the most important part, which is going back and working on your fundamentals. But working on becoming the best version of yourself gives you something to work towards every single day, so then you don't have time to be focused on the past. You don't have time to be focused on your depression, because you're constantly chasing something that's in a way getting closer and closer, but just keeps on developing and getting further and further away. So it's kind of a mind trick to fuck around with your psyche. And all I can say is that if you don't believe me, try it out yourself, because I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just giving you my input. And I know this for a fact because this is something that I had to deal with myself. How many of you are afraid to open your bank account right now? And when's the last time that you looked at your bank account? Because that is a problem that I used to have. I used to be so afraid of actually looking at the number on my bank account that I wouldn't even open it. And how can you track something that you're not even aware of? Now let's use our logical circuits here. How does that make sense? But in reality, how many of you have a financial overview, which is taking a look at your financials in a professional manner, seeing how much income you actually have coming in month to month, seeing your expenses month to month, seeing how much money you're spending on your credit cards month to month. If you're not in a financial situation that you want to be in, how many of you are actually budgeting? And by budgeting, I mean taking care of your essential expenses, such as rent, bills, food, etc., and making sure that you have that money set aside every month, and setting aside some money every month so that you can have that money would then work for you, so you don't have to work for it. Tracking your expenses month to month is very important as well, because you have to understand what you're actually spending your money on, and this helps guide you and become more lenient towards what you know you don't need. Whether you want to believe it or not, the numbers end up adding up. You'll pay attention to some bullshit expense, such as why am I continuously spending $150 a month on this when I know I don't need that? And need is the key word there. Do you need it? Especially if you want to get out of the situation where you're at right now. If you're not planning towards exiting that situation, how do you plan to just stumble across success? It doesn't really make sense. Going back to the credit cards, that is also a reason why a lot of people end up having to pay crazy amounts of interest on their credit cards, is because they don't have a financial overview that they do month to month, where they set aside the money that they know they have to pay off for those credit cards and end up paying them off early. That is something that I do. I always pay off my credit cards early, because I know how dangerous the credit card game is, and those interest rates are not something fun to play around with. So just becoming professional with your finances will help you become the person that you know you have to become, because how are you going to manage large sums of money when you can't even manage the amount that you have right now, which you are complaining about? Let's be smart about this. You want to exit that situation? We could do that together. Now, my very last point is something that I actually want to move towards a lot more in my videos and help people out, because it is the area that I'm most interested in, because I understand how important this is, because without money, the world does not move. And I want you to take what I'm saying and not just take my word for it. Go do your own research. And as somebody who is telling you to go do your own research, then you will understand what I am talking about, and then you can make your own decisions after that. If you understand the state of the economy, people have been talking about a recession or depression for the past year and a half now, and at this point, this is something that I believe is inevitable. Is going to end up happening. When? That is something that nobody can predict. If you have somebody telling you that they're going to predict this on this day, those people are lying to you, because nobody can time the markets. No program can time the markets, because if it was that easy, then that person would be a multi-trillionaire. But you need to go out there and understand the fundamentals of finances so that you can position yourself and your family where the world is shifting. And that is exactly what I'm doing. I've stopped focusing on other people and I let them come to me. I'm focused on myself and those around me who actually want to better themselves and want to get out of their situation and become that provider for their family. I myself was actually studying Warren Buffett's portfolio in the late 90s, and what I came across was that he was actually sitting liquid with hundreds of millions of dollars, and we're talking cash, because he was playing the long game. He knew boom and bust cycles and he knew what was going to end up happening. So that's what I'm doing. I'm actually sitting liquid myself, apart from my dollar cost averaging into the markets that I already do. What I'm going to do is do the opposite of what the 99% are actually doing, because you can't move with the herd and think that you're going to get ahead of everybody else. I study millionaires and billionaires in order to emulate those moves that they do, because history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. And I suggest that you take time out of your day to actually become educated in these topics, because there is a financial shift happening right now that is going to be an opportunity of a lifetime. So many millionaires and actually billionaires are going to be made in this opportunity that you're going to be kicking yourself if you miss out on it. And I guarantee you that my group and I are not going to miss out on it. Those who are actually aware of what's going on are not going to miss out on it, because the opportunity is tremendous. So like I said, look at what 99% of the people are doing and do the opposite. Secure your wealth and strategize to get to the top. But that is everything that I had to say. If you made it to the end of the video, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Check out my links are in the description. If you found value in this video, make sure you share it with somebody, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out.